like to take you out to a tree that is fairly common in California, the Monterey Cypress. It grows along the coast, but a lot of people use it as an inland ornamental tree. But it's a very hardy tree. It does have some issues, but let's go over to the coast. I took some time off and I want to show you this very beautiful but unusual tree. So I got away for a couple of days. It was my wife Gina and I. We were celebrating our 30th wedding anniversary. So as always, I can't help myself. I've got to get out and take a look at the local trees. So the Monterey Cypress is an extraordinary tree in its ability to survive in relatively hostile environments. Here you can see this tree is growing entirely in the sand, and over time the sand is blown away, exposing its root system. And amazingly, this tree is still alive. I'm completely perplexed as to what sustains a tree when all of its roots get exposed like that. This one's a little bit higher up, which, as you can see, there's virtually no soil here. Oh, this is interesting. There was a tree that had apparently died, and I was really curious to count the rings. It's kind of hard to see, but I did a rough count here, and I was working my way in. You could see the rings fairly decent, but I was able to count in a ways. Much of the tree was decayed and very hard, but I got into 50 years at this point. So if you judge the rest of the tree, this tree is likely 100 to 150 years old. They're significant trees, and all throughout Monterey, this is a very, very prominent tree. You see them in the parks and along the seashore, but you also see them inland. You see them, growing right in the city proper, which is still fairly close to the shore, but they grow in all different shapes and forms. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the tree, the cypress on the point that is so famous. Well, here we went and stayed at a nice hotel right on the beach here. I'll share a little bit of my trip here as well. So we were up on the 4th floor, and I got my GoPro camera out, and here it is with the super wide angle lens. It was a gorgeous day. We really enjoyed ourselves up here, but wow, it was just an amazing trip. There we go. This is downtown, right in Cannery Row, and what amazes me about this tree is the fact that there is virtually no growing space at all. It's either completely the roots are under the building or under the road. Why does it survive? I'm perplexed. Why does this tree still survive in such a hostile environment? Well, I think I'll share a little bit more about the trip. If you've never been to Monterey, it's a really, really pretty area. The squid fishermen were out. I found that quite interesting. I know I'm going off topic here a little bit, but I think it's worth paying attention to. There's my wife, Gina. And we were up in this room watching the fishermen, and they fish all night long and all through the day. And where they unload the squid, the sea lion population has just grown to be immense. Well, we got out and we explored the area and went down. On the way back, we stopped in at a little beach area in a town called Marina. And this particular beach area off a reservation road is known for hang gliders and now these parasails. There was one guy there, and I was kind of interested in watching it. I've always wanted to do this. When I was young, I did have a hang glider for a few years, and I did have some experience, including at this spot. But the paragliders, they just seem so graceful and so much fun. This guy here, I think he was learning because he didn't seem super confident. He knew what he was doing, but I was watching other paragliders further down that were a little bit more bold and were going greater distances. This guy kind of stuck to one little area on the beach there, back and forth near the sand. And we ultimately ended up at Año Nuevo and finished off an absolutely beautiful day. Now, I hope you enjoyed this little trip to the coast of California.